Well, we've told you repeatedly over the last couple of weeks about how the FAA, which is in charge of your safety when you travel by air, has altered its merit-based hiring testing for air traffic controllers, adding a bogus biographical questionnaire to the process. The new test's existence is bad enough. They are seeking out the unqualified intentionally. But even more worrisome than that is the fact that the FAA apparently didn't care if people cheated on their already watered-down test. In 2016, the Department of Transportation found that the National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees had given its members guidance on how to answer the biographical questionnaire so they could pass it. In other words, the group helped them cheat by giving them the correct answers ahead of time. Cheating on a federal hiring test is a crime, and it ought to be. And yet, despite that, nobody was ever charged. In fact, one union member connected to the cheating appears to be still employed by the FAA. Michael Pearson is a former air traffic controller. He's an...
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. That video was from 6 years ago. The policy he's referring to was done during the Obama administration. The Obama administration in his second term. So we are now suffering the repercussions of bad hiring practices put in place during the Obama administration. Again, this is the kind of power that presidential policy can make happen. Like I said, they put in something in place that they go, this is good for me and my constituents, and then 10 years later, now we're feeling the reprisals. Because the people who got hired under those times were what do you call them? What do you call when a new employee is like they're in their probation period, you know?
Oh,
like you're not allowed to so they probably have somebody holding their hand effectively for the first couple of years. Now they're in supervisor positions. Now they're working unsupervised because they've been there long enough to allegedly know how to do the job. And guess what? When someone wasn't there to help coach them through certain situations, they don't know what to do. They didn't have the cognitive ability to know what to do. People helped them. They held their hands to make them pass through the test. And again, I'm not going to just say, look, you learn the vast majority of how to do the job while you're doing the job. That's my experience. However, if you don't have if you couldn't pass the test, you didn't have the mental fortitude, clarity, and what's another word? Poise for the job. Then, to pass the test anyway fairly, then what the heck makes you think you'd be good at it whenever a really, really stressful situation presents itself, especially when you're dealing with planes flying in and out. Mm-hmm. You know, they would have you believe that it's like this, oh no, they're hiring all these awesome Tuskegee Airmen guys. It's like, no, this is very, very different. They are lowering standards. Like the Tuskegee Airmen, in order to become pilots, had to go above and beyond expectations in order to get to even be able to fly. I mean, they told the Tuskegee Airmen, you're not allowed to break off whenever the fighters come in. And the Tuskegee Airmen stayed with the bombers. And like I said, the white bomber pilots were like, I don't know who these guys are, but I love these guys because they don't leave. Like the other pilots, whenever the fighters came in, took off.
Yeah. Said the standard operating procedure of fighter planes was to break off and fight and get into a dogfight, whereas the Tuskegee Airmen were trained, don't break off and get into a dogfight, stay in formation and protect the planes. You only veer off if you're trying to keep a plane off of one of the bombers. Again,
these the policies, these DEI policies spit in the face of those Tuskegee Airmen. They spit in the face of the bravery and the courage and not just that, the absolute dedication that those men went through in order to become pilots. And again, now this is obviously really applying to air traffic controllers, but still, you know, this is ridiculous. It's very sad. You know, it's like, I mean, this is what happens when racial identity politics becomes your god. You know, again, in every disparity to these people, when I say, they'll be like, oh, that's racist. These people, you know, it's like, no, like this, what the group that Tucker just called about, the Black Association of Aviators and Airliners.
This article here.
So anyway, it's the god of the gaps. Any disparity, like I said, they just fill that. So if there is a lack of
something,
lack of diversity in a certain field, it's always discrimination. Yeah. It's always racism. The god of the gaps is always racism.
It's the same with It's the same with women in special forces. Like, why are there no females in any of your special forces units or ranger units? Just like, because they're not meeting the standards.
Well, it's not even that.
You
It's
know,
like, one, women are not super interested in special forces. Like, the vast majority of women do not want to. Look, who the heck wants to crap outside and bury your who wants to bury and bag their own crap? Who wants to eat
be
outside in
not
freezing
sleep,
cold rain?
work out all the time, and be in the rain and crap in a hole in the ground?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, there are a lot of dudes who won't sign up to do that. So, and like, there's an even smaller pool of women. So I said it's not It's not a discrepancy. It's not racism. It's not sexism. It's like, we know scientifically that, I mean, the Marines even did that test where it's like, look, gender diverse groups versus all male groups. All male groups dominate.
Yeah, the male groups performed like at a what they say like a 40% more efficiency rate than the mixed groups did. Yeah.
Again, we're not dumping on female service members. We're just saying there's not a lot of female service members, even in the Guard. Yeah. It's more dudes than chicks. Like, I think I have two girls. I have 3 girls in my entire company. Mm-hmm. That's pretty proportionate to what it is in real life, everywhere in the military.
Yep.
So anyway, we're getting way off topic now. So this guy, this video just surfaced, not a video, it's an audio leak of this guy who's like vice president of recruiting or something within.
Yes, his name is Shelton Snow, and top DEI activist caught on a voicemail allegedly offering minorities air traffic controller candidates the chance to cheat and make or break the entry exam. Shelton Snow, a powerful figure in the National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees, or NBCFAE, can be heard promising advance access to test answers in a shocking audio clip obtained by thedailymail.com. There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken screenshots of, and I'm going to send to you via email, says Snow, an air traffic operations supervisor based out of New York. And you want me to just play the audio here real quick? Or
let's go. We'll listen to it, yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, here's the audio of this guy basically promising a bunch of people that need to be fired immediately the answers to the test.
Washington Suburban Associate members, brothers and sisters, listen. It's been a really busy time for me these past
Black
4 days.
identitarians, man.
I know that
My
each
brothers
of you
and
are
sisters.
eager, very eager, to apply for this job vacancy announcement. And trust, after tonight, you will be able to do so. I am asking that you give me another 15 or 16 hours. Allow me to go to work and come home, provide you with an email that will be extremely crucial in the opening stages of this hiring process. There are some valuable pieces of information that I have taken a screenshot of, and I'm going to send that to you via email. Trust and believe it will be something that you will appreciate to the utmost.
I mean, look, guys, I don't know if you guys have ever taken licensure tests, but like the proctors and the people who administer these tests say you're not allowed to take your phone. Like, whenever I went to go get, it's something as minuscule as getting an insurance license test. They're like, you're not allowed to have your phone. Like, you can't take your phone in here. And this guy, I mean, like, this is an ethical violation right here. Not only he should be fired for cheating and taking screenshots of test answers, and then he sends those very answers out to his constituents of Black identitarian group in order to pass the test. I mean, that's an ethical violation. Remember, he should be fired. He should not be allowed to work anywhere other than like McDonald's or Walmart ever again. And anybody who is in this email chain should be immediately fired and removed from their positions.
Or at least given the opportunity to take a retest.
Yeah, and without any of these DEI, questionnaires that, like, again, there's some parts of the test where if you answer, I failed science in high school, that you get like 10 additional points. But the same, and there's another question that says basically if you have a pilot's license, that's only 2 points, where so, I mean, they get you 10 points if you say you have a pilot's license. And then if you say you failed high school science, they get you 10 points. Like, none of this makes sense at all. It's putting people's lives in danger, these horrible DEI practices. I mean, this should terrify you. You wonder why there's more near misses, and you wonder why there's more planes going down right now.
because of crap like this.
It's because of crap like this. It's because horrible DEI policies. And like I said, we can't even blame Joe Biden for this. This is due to Barack Obama.
Yeah. But Biden definitely was trying to forward more stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like
for
this.
sure. For sure. This is Democrat policies 101. Pander to the racial vote.
Keep in mind, we are trying to maximize your opportunities. And I'm doing the very best that I
You mean
can
cheat.
with the time that I'm given. Today when I get off at 11 o'clock, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to finish out that email. I'm going to send it to each of you. And as you progress through the stages, refer to those images so that you will know which icons you should select. Now, I have a good mind to send it to one of my HR representatives first and give them the opportunity to sign off on it before you actually click it. But in the sake of time, I'm going to send it directly to you because I'm about 99.99% sure that it's exactly how you need to answer each question in order to get through the first phase. People have been getting rejection notices, and those rejection notices have been coming after about 24 to 36 hours after clicking submit. And I want to avoid that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our time and we're going to make sure that everything that we click on, and you're going to even have to go back to your resume and make some changes because one of our members and I have caught something, and we want to go back and we want to fine-tune those details. And I guarantee that will give us the very best feeling that we could ever get in applying for this job.
Awesome.
VRAs, those that are receiving.
You know, what happened to study groups? You know what? This time could be, instead of them cheating, he could have gotten together and gotten all of his members from this black attendantarian group of his and just done a study group and be like, we're going to get together and we're all going to study and help each other out. And if you're struggling in this area, I'll help you here. If I'm struggling in this area, you help me here. But no, it's like, no. We'll just do it the easy way. We'll just cheat. I'll get into a position of authority and power. I'll take my cell phone into this proctored test. I'll take pictures when the proctor's not looking, and then I'll bring out and give you guys all this information.
Or even scarier, the proctor could have been in on it.
Yeah, I mean, I said again, you guys, there is no links that unions and Democrat policies and these racial identity, there's no links that they won't stoop in order to pay people off in order to get what they want.
This is also the other problem, is like why nobody ever gets in trouble for crap like this is because it's government sanctioned. Mm-hmm. You can't, I mean, this is why you never see like people getting in trouble for like hiring like illegals and stuff like that, because if it was sanctioned by the government, like we have a new program that gives, undocumented people job applications. You can't find them because the government made it legal to do so. That's why you don't see any repercussions for stuff like this. Like, there's a reason why we probably won't see anything come of this. I think this guy has been removed from his position, but you probably won't see any like charges against him because the government sanctioned this crap.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's like we talked about this before in another video where we talked about how that guy that scored 100%. This is an 8-hour test. Remember, the entry test or the proctor test that they run, it's like an 8-hour exam. And there are people who scored 100 on it. There was a Native American, like I'm talking about, not like like one of our Native Americans. I mean, not like but there's a Native American, and then you have a white guy from Arizona who went to Arizona State, got 100% on a test that is 8 hours long, dang near impossible. Like that's unheard of. Like, and these two guys were rejected because of these, because they scored too high in their racial group. It's like, oh, sorry, you're white, and I can't believe the Native American guy got knocked out. But again, they put in these other criteria that said if you haven't had a job in 3 years and you haven't, and you failed high school science, that gets you a boost. Like, are you kidding me? Like, so these two dudes and a bunch of other people who are, like I said, again, majority white people, were all have all signed on to this lawsuit that has been, I guess, is still going on in court. But yeah, the most qualified people are trying to get their jobs because they went to college for this, and then when they got past the test, did the best they absolutely could, the places that they wanted to go work would not hire them because of these policies.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Crazy. It's absolutely insane. Let's finish this out real quick. Yeah. He's only got about a minute left.
Those that have received tentative offer letters, we want you to apply for this job anyway. Messages came back saying do not give the agency an opportunity to say they never gave you one. So apply for it anyway. For everyone else, stand by to stand by. Later on this evening, when I get home, I'm going to finish those emails, and then I'm going to go back to planning for the Black History Month program. And then I'm going to process all new members' enrollment forms. And then I'm going to send out my emails to the managers of the FAA regional headquarters and thanking them for my visit. And then I'm going to get back to handling some important business for the VRAs. I think we may have an opportunity, VRAs, to do something that others probably would find impossible. I found that answer talking to people in HR. So give me an opportunity to do what I need to do this evening, and I guarantee after that you will be able to apply for this job. Thanks a lot. God bless.
So basically, he's going around talking to people, trying to get answers and find shifty ways to get, the people that he wants into positions of power. That is basically how all,
this is a
political
racket.
backdoor deals are done. Yeah,
this is a mafia. This is a gang. This is a criminal gang. This is a mafia. This is a mob group. Like that. That's what this is. And he's trying to get all of his buddies and this group of his into positions of power and well-paying jobs, and they're hurting. And again, they don't care. They just want the money, and they want the power, and they want the authority. They don't care what happens. I mean, like, look, if two planes crash because of their incompetence, they'll just be like, my bad, and then they'll keep going on. They'll just that guy will get fired from that place, but they'll probably just move him somewhere else. So, okay, you go work in Atlanta now, or you go work in Los Angeles.
Yep. Now, this does a pretty good talking about right here why this is coming back up. The voicemail comes to light as President Donald Trump vows to purge DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion from U.S. aviation, among other federal agencies, in the wake of the deadly midair collision at Reagan National Airport in January. The lives of the 67 lives that were claimed. Let's see here. The Snow's message was recorded just weeks after the FAA announced the big hiring shakeup in history during an Obama-era push to widen the aperture for women and minorities. As DailyMail.com exclusively revealed, the federal government agencies had controversies replaced its peer-reviewed cognitive exam with a biographical quiz. And this is where that white guy and the Indian guy failed, because it's a biographical quiz. So if you don't have anything that says, like, it's literally like it's the joke. It's the same thing that happens on the joke on like America's Got Talent or American Idol or whatever it is, where someone comes in and goes, I've had cancer. They have these heartbreaking stories like, this person's going to win. And then someone comes, my parents are together. I came from a happy, healthy family. Like, boo.
Yeah.
That's basically what this quiz is.
We want tragedy and racial division, and to because that sells better than a person that grew up in a loving household. It just, that's what these people want. That's what this is. It's so sad. But again, it's like, why that doesn't matter. I mean, it's like the struggle breeds excellence. So somebody who came from a more hard or harsher upbringing and overcame all that is going to be better, because especially if they overcome and they're able to, pass the test the normal way. Like, so again, 5% of African Americans are air traffic controllers, and this is before the DEI thing. So are you telling me that those 5%, they were able to overcome whatever issues they had and pass the same test that everybody else did? And now you have a bunch of people in there who are not qualified, who couldn't pass the same test that those original 5% were able to pass. Like, you're making them look bad.
Yeah.
So whenever they come into work, they go, I wonder if this guy's here because he passed the test before Barack Obama was a president, or if these guys are the DEI hires. I mean, that's what you're doing. It's like, now you question the bona fides of every single African American that's been hired, because we don't know which ones are DEI hires and which ones were there, again, pre-Obama and post-Obama.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what you have to do. Basically, you have to interview all of these employees who've been hired and be like, pre or post-Obama.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep. the quiz would ask questions like, how would you describe your ideal job? And classmates would remember me as humble or dominant. Very irrelevant questions. Critics say the quiztastic blend of multiple choice questions was designed to screen out elite, mostly white students from the FAA accredited college course who excel in traditional aptitude tests. So yeah, this is literally getting rid of people who have the book smarts.
So you're telling me it's the opposite of an aptitude test.
Mm-hmm.
It's a craptitude test.
Yeah. Pretty much. Nothing less. It was provingly incredibly tricky for anyone to pass, with a 90% failure rate. When Snow decided to intervene, the president of the, whatever it is, the NBC-FAE, Washington Suburban Chapter, contacted members in January 2014 with a list of HR buzzwords to insert into job applications. And if you remember, this is exactly what we talked about when he was coming up for re-election. Mm-hmm. The buzzwords started popping up into things like racism, minority, all the division words.
Yeah. So, I mean, his first one, it's all about unity and coming together as a country. The second term was, again, it's like what Trump's doing right now. It's like Trump is scorched earth. He's hell on earth. He's wrath right now. Mm-hmm. Obama's first thing was like, oh, no, I'm a good president. We're going to unify the country. And now it's like, second term, now we're going to institute communist racial segregation DEI policies.
Pretty much.
And you're like, what? I thought we were about unity. No, it doesn't sell. Yeah. My constituents want this.
Says here, these buzzwords will flag your resume, thereby giving you an advantage over thousands of resumes that may be flooding the system, he wrote. So there you go. He's giving people the words that they're looking for. So they're literally looking for certain words and phrasing to get you the job, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, and again, aptitude is all that matters. Are you able to handle the stressful situations? If you're not, and you don't have the high-functioning IQ in order to deal with these stressful situations, we don't want you in that chair. We don't want you being that air traffic controller. It's a high-stress job.
Yeah. At separate teleconference, applicants were urged to highlight their association with the NBC-FAE, the largest employee association within the FAA. So, if you mention, so basically this is what we're talking about. This is mafioso tactics right here.
Yeah.
If you say, hey, I'm with this organization, they're going to go,
You're in.
You're in. Mm-hmm. That's a kickback right there. An agenda for the December 2023 powwow read, this is for us to know who our people are in case that we have one of our own on board. Good Lord.
Again, and this is what's so ridiculous. We don't care about race. These people do. They care about race. It's like, I want the most qualified person there for the job. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're white. I don't care if they're Indian. I don't care if they're Hispanic. I want the most competent person to be my air traffic controller. When I'm sitting in that plane and my life is in your hands, I want the most qualified person there. I don't want somebody who goes, I really hope that, it's not some DEI hire that's, just got there by the skin of his teeth, failed the initial test, but he passed the craptitude test. He answered the right questions that his buddies in his little black identitarian group gave him the answers.
He knew the right words and right phrases, and he was the right skin
I
color.
failed science in high school. 10 extra points to Gryffindor.
Yeah. It says here, this is from the NER Vice President and WSC President. Subject important. Date 15 of 2014. To redacted, WSC brothers and sisters, it has been confirmed that there will not be a selection panel for the open bid on February 10th. Instead, the FAA Human Resources will scan resumes, and the computer will group resumes based on keywords, aka buzzwords. These buzzwords will flag your resume, thereby giving you the advantage over thousands of resumes that may flood the system. A list of these buzzwords are attached to this email. This list is going to provide you one of our members in HR and encourage you to keep the lid on this and focus on this attachment and focus on your resume. If the entire country caught wind of this attachment, then how will your resume be distinguished from the others? After editing your resume using this attached file, resend me your resume for viewing. In the subject line, amended resume for name. Please keep this email confidential between yourselves and the NBCFAE. The information we share with you will be help others and of our organization that has invested in their future through the NBCFAE. In unity, Shelton G. Snow, Vice President.
This is a racist union black identitarian mob. That's what this is. A racist mob. I mean, how else can you describe it? I mean, here are the buzzwords that will guarantee you the highest score. You don't actually have to score the highest on the 8-hour proctored test. You just have to make sure you use these buzzwords, and we will beat everyone else.
This is nepotism at its finest, because this is literally like, we're an exclusive club, and this is the old, it's not what you know, it's who you know. I'd rather work with someone who knows what to do versus someone who just knew somebody to get into the job.
Yeah. And again, they'll just give me the answers, or they'll give me the right words I need to say and do in order to get in. And then all I have to do is name drop the fact that I'm in this organization. I have to use these buzzwords, and then they'll give me the answers to the test to get me the best possible score.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting.
Here are the two guys you were just talking about. Ex-NBC-FAE member Matthew Douglas left, who is Native American, turned down Snow's offer to help and failed the exam twice. The exam provided incredibly tricky for anyone to pass with a 90% failure rate. Air Force veteran Ben Anavini, who also failed, called the methodology flawed beyond recognition.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about a guy who was in the military, guys. There's a lot of stuff we do in the military. Like, I mean, that doesn't make sense, but the stuff when it comes to, like, flying and the stuff when it comes to, like, doctrinal stuff, all that stuff makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We use the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. And now they're just trying to say, hey, this is what you got to do in order to pass. I said, forget the actual part that matters. What matters is the craptitude part.
Mm-hmm. Man alive. But yeah, this goes on, and it's mainly recapping most of the stuff they talked about. The U.S. veteran Navy SEAL still works with the FAA and is running a dog breeding business, Snowstorm Bullies, out of his Longshore home. Okay, so that's his. This is what he does on his spare time. So this is talking about Sheldon Snow, the 50-year-old dad who lists 2 hobbies as weightlifting and motorcycles and monster trucks on his company website. When the Daily Mail reached out to Snow, he asked for his version of events. He said, with all due respect, I have no comment. Please do not call this phone again. Yeah, because you've been completely caught.
Fire this man. Fire this man and everyone that was on his email list. All of them. Get rid of them all.
The push to diversify our skies began. That would have been a good title, too.
What?
But ours is good. DEI in the sky.
What was the?
It said the push to diversify our sky.
Oh my God!
Began with the turn of the century when the special interest groups started lobbying the FAA to adopt a RNO, race and national origin, and gender consciousness hiring. So this was what we're talking about, that Obama level era crap right here.
Mm-hmm.
The controller position, typically gone to military vets or standout graduates from accredited air traffic collegiate training initiatives. Schools who scored highly on rigorous cognitive tests and the AT-SAT. But our NBC FAE chief complaint about the disparate treatment under the representation of African Americans, citing the 2009 study which declared air traffic and control the least diverse branch of the federal government. When in 2012 the Barrier analysis suggested that the AT-SAT was the problem for minorities, it was scrapped in favor of the biographical assessment under a 10-year FAA strategy to add depth and diversity. So, a 10-year strategy means it was a temporary strategy to just bring in people who aren't nearly as qualified. So which means that they were always planning on getting rid of it at some point, which is, what's it now? It's 2025. If it started in 2014, it ended last year.
Yeah. Well, this is what's terrifying is, again, reading that paper, it's like only 5% of the federal employees for the air traffic control are black. Again, the god of the gaps. It must be racism. If there is a disparity, Racism is a cause. Black people are 12% of the overall population. Only 5% of black people are in this area. Therefore, racism is keeping them out. That's not the case. The tests, the qualifications, the standardization is what's keeping them out.
Yeah.
Like, it's a hard job. You'd think I could just walk in there as a white dude and be like, I want to be an air traffic controller. It's like, I'd have to study for years to get this job.
Well, here's the other problem, too, is like, when does it stop? Like, does it stop when we get to, like...
12%?
Does it stop at 12%, like the national, like, population average?
Or is it going to be an overcorrection? Yeah.
Is it 50%? Or is it like I call the Black Panther method, where it's the most diverse film ever, despite the fact that it's pretty much 99% black, and there's like two other, people in it.
Yeah, there's like one white guy and maybe a Hispanic person.
Yeah, and that was it. So like I said, so what's the standard for perfect, DEI like compatibleness or whatever?
Again, and the answer you always have to ask when you're doing these people is compared to what? Like, this is racist. This guy, like, the only 5% is right. What? It's like, it's racist compared to what? It is, and here's the better question: was it working?
Yeah. So this next one here, we'll get back to it, is successful applicants would still go on to take shorter cognitive tests known as the ATSA, but was weighted at 2.5 times less important when determining whether the candidate would land a job and begin formal air traffic control training. The FAA will never explain the initiative to scoring process, which rewards high marks for candidates who need a great deal of time to complete an assignment, or their low grade in high school their lowest grade in high school is science, like you said.
Yeah.
But the switch proved that catastrophic for the CTI graduates who could ace skill-based aviation tests, but struggled to get the grips with quirky biographical replacement, which basically means, like, to me, that they're basically like autistic. Like, I'm good at book smarts and reading stuff and working with stuff, but I'm not good with my people skills.
Look, this thing, like, it basically it rewards bare minimum bandits. Like, tell these folks who are trying to get in, that are in this organization, just do the bare minimum when it comes to the actual cognitive tests, and we'll make sure you pass the biographical portion that doesn't matter. The part that's not going to make you a better air traffic controller. We're going to help you with that part, not the part that actually matters. We don't care about that part. We just know that part's the racist part.
Yep. Congress eventually passed Public Law 114-190 in 2016, which barred the FAA from using biographical assessment as an entry point exam for new hires. But that was too late for the CTI graduates like Douglas, 36, who failed it twice and never became an air traffic controller. Douglas, a Native American, joined the NBC FAE after he graduated in 2014, but was turned down Snow's offer for help. I could have done what a bunch of other people did, he told the Daily Mail. There's this guy that was handing out answers, and I stopped talking to him. I was like, I don't need these answers. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. So a guy who has a freaking moral compass.
Yeah, a guy that has integrity said no. I mean, well, that's who I want in charge of this organization, is that guy. I want that guy. A guy who goes, no, I can't be bought. That's who we need there. But guess what? He failed. And Snow and all of his corrupt little turds that are working with him are working now. They have the jobs. They're in positions of power. Hopefully not for long.
Yeah. I don't know if the FAA vetted these people thoroughly and properly, but I do know that they were given the opportunity that other kids deserved. Ben Arvey, an Air Force veteran with 5+ years of service as a air battle manager, only found out about the cheating several years after he failed the test. I see it as analogous to the SAT cheating scandal that went on a few years ago, where you had all those rich kids paying people to take the SATs for their kids, said Ben, 41.
Yeah.
I think promoting diversity is a good thing, but the methodology they went through is flawed beyond recognition. And that's the end of the article.
Yeah. I mean, perfect. Who else better could you have than a battle air traffic controller? I mean, like, this is like the CCT guys. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the combat air traffic controllers. Like, these guys parachute into combat zones and set up temporary airfields. And they're calling in the Air Force planes, being like, yep, you're clear, bring her in. Drop your supplies. Go. I got one coming in 2 more minutes. So get this plane off the runway. Those people go through the toughest training the U.S. Air Force has to offer. And here we are pushing DEI crap and saying, sorry, Air Force vet, you're not qualified. You failed the biographical or the craptitude portion of the test that doesn't matter. Eat it. Get wrecked. So it's disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting, these policies that Obama instituted. And now people are paying for it with their lives. Mm-hmm. This is what you get with DEI. And just reword the letters. Instead of DEI, just do it DEI makes people DIE.
Nope. Yep, that's true. But this is what you get right here. This is what you get right here if you get DEI hires right here. He's coming right at us!
Dude,
that's perfect.
One of the greatest comedy movies ever made. Airplane. Gosh. Coming right at us. That's the way it's gonna be. I mean, shoot, I'm flying today.
Mm-hmm.
Going on vacation. I'm worried about this crap now.
Yep. But I mean, that's really it. Other than the fact that that's how I'm playing us out. But yeah, I just had a bunch of airplane crashes go over. But I was gonna play this in the background.
Too busy reading your article.
Exactly. Hey, no, that article was great and it covered everything that I wanted to cover.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, it's amazing that horrible policies can still be affecting us 10 years later. I mean, this is one of those things that Trump needs to repeal. I mean, Barack Obama should not be remembered as the Democrat. Again, remember, Barack Obama is the messiah of the Democratic Party. He's still probably the indirect leader of the Democratic Party because the Democrats have no leader. Like, point to a Democrat who is the leader of the Democratic Party right now. You can't do it. Barack Obama is the closest thing you get, and these are his policies. We are suffering the ramifications of the policies that he instituted in his second term right now. And that's his legacy. This is Obama's legacy right here. This DEI crap. Mm-hmm. He racially divided the country. Like, I mean, he was supposed to be the uniter in chief. He was the divider in chief. And now this country's more racially segregated than ever because we have all these perceived victim mentality. I mean, the victim mentality has taken over the African American community and every other diverse community we have here. It's like, look, you're all Americans. We're here. Just deal with what it is. Again, this is why Christ and forgiveness is so important. Like, forgive your debtors. Forgive those people who sin against you and let it go so you can be free of that shame and guilt. Let them go. Tell them it's okay. You forgive them. Because if you can't do that, you're never going to be happy. And that's the truth, man. That is the truth. So if you want to live in a better world and a better country, you got to let go and you got to move on and push forward. Forget about the past and the past discriminations of your forefathers and ancestors or whatever, and let it go. You can't be beholden to the sins of your father. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree with that.
So that's really about all we've got today. Again, we just wanted to go over this plane stuff because I saw a video about this morning, and I was like, we actually had a different subject planned for today, and I told Chad the minute we woke up, I was like, we have to talk about this. We have to. I know, again, we've already somewhat talked about this before already. I mean, I know we talked about
Well, it's just the same. It's like I feel like it's the same like 5 freaking things that we have to constantly talk about because they're how badly they're affecting our country right now.
Yeah, again, it's DEI, Islam, and
immigration.
Immigration. I mean, these are the things that you're going to feel the most as as the average everyday citizen. These are things that affect you. Bad government policies is a big one. And it said, especially now that the safety of the airways isn't even safe. I mean, for all you know, you'll just look. Pretty soon, we'll all just be looking up, going, "Look out! It's coming right for us."
Anytime you see an airplane, you're just gonna like duck your head and get down.
I know, you and me are like, I mean, guys, I mean, we're on the second story. Like, a plane could come flying through this window right here, right now. You and me are ducking out of the way, you know.
It's coming right for us.
Coming right at us. Look out! Yeah, I mean that's the truth, man. That's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. But
yeah, it's like don't you feel bad when you walk into an airplane and you see a woman or a person of color as a pilot and you have to go, oh no,
yeah,
is this person actually qualified?
yeah. Oh my God.
At least air traffic controller, you don't really know, who they are because you don't see them.
Yeah, you never see the air traffic controllers. That's for sure. But, yeah, I think that's about all we've got for you today. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that's all we've got for you today. God bless you.
See you later, everybody.